Hello?
Is this Bo Biafra of the Dead Schembechlers?
This is Bo Biafra of the legendary Dead Schembechlers speaking. Is this Brian Phillips of the Palestra?
Yes, it is, and I've been very anxious to talk to you the last several days. I feel like we've been existing in a sort of vacuum here in Columbus, Ohio, where Friday we were supposed to have the Dead Schembechlers with Watershed, the annual, or at least biannual, Hate Michigan rally at the LC Pavilion here in Columbus, Ohio. And then we got the startling news last week that somehow the venue had been double booked, and I'm hoping that you can sort all this out for us.
Brian, I was hoping by now to have this sorted out. The case in point is we do not have it sorted out yet. So I'm going to lay out what I know, what the band's position is, and what our actions are as follows. You are right, and we learned in no small part, thanks to the crackerjack investigative reporting done by you there at the Palestra, of the slimy skullduggery in the LC Pavilion being double booked. It appears that the promoter from Promo West, Scott Steinecker, accepted, we understand it to be $50,000 in cash from Samsung Electronics to blow out the Hate Michigan rally starting the Dead Schembechlers Watershed and Alpha racetrack and replace it with some sort of mockery, some sort of corporate sanitized event called the Samsung Rock and Roll Rally. They didn't even have a good sense to get a band from Ohio. Hell, they didn't even get somebody from Michigan for it. They brought in a bunch of damn Sooners fans, some sort of all-American rejects band. We had the agreement with Promo West. They have reneged or are attempting to renege on our appearance there. We are going to court against Scott Steinecker and Promo West. We are also going to involve Samsung Electronics in this. They are trying to destroy our show, destroy our band, and destroy our reputation. We are not going to take this lying down. I see Samsung's show trying to replace us as just a piece of the international Wolverine conspiracy trying to stop this band as they have been trying to do since we have begun to exist. We are fighting to make that appearance at the LC this Friday night. It looks like it is going to be going to the courts. We have a legal team in motion moving against Promo West and against Samsung. I would also like to add that artistically, we are going to be going after these people, including this Friday. If things have not been resolved by then, the Dead Schembechlers are going to rush into the studio to record, mix, and release a brand new single called Samsung Sucks. We will release it for free via the internet, our website, and our MySpace page for game day. Again, if this is not resolved, we are not going to be pushed out of a gig that we are legally entitled to. I am not going to stand for it. I would also like to say that the band is not just doing this for glory. You know, we are doing this for money. And a large portion of the profits from this show, as we have publicly stated since we came back, is going to be given to the Bo Schembechler Heart of a Champion Fund. They are stealing from that charity by trying to take this gig away from us. Again, the international Wolverine conspiracy moving in against the Dead Schembechlers in a way that I never thought I would see before. One final thing I would like to say, Brian, is that we are not only doing this for the Dead Schembechlers, Watershed, and Alpha Racetrack, we are doing this for every independent band that has ever been screwed by some greedhead in the music industry or some large corporation who thought they could run amok on somebody's hard work. Well, you know what? The buck stops here with the Dead Schembechlers. We will fight for the Buckeyes, and we will fight for the other independent music bands.
All right, well, let me ask you this, Bo. I spoke to Mr. Steinecker on Friday, and his position was that he took the Dead Schembechlers to Samsung, and the company...
Listen, I don't care who he pitched to who. I've got nothing to do with Samsung or any other goddamn corporation.
All right. Well, here's also what he said. After Samsung expressed their discomfort with the Dead Schembechlers and your subject matter, he said that he offered you an opportunity to play on a stage at a place called the House of Crave. Are you familiar with that particular facility?
Scott has tried to weasel out of his agreement with us. There is no, we don't care about what other clubs he controls. We have an agreement with him to play the LC Pavilion. We're not playing anywhere else. We have an agreement with him for the LC Pavilion, and you know what? We got lawyers behind us who agree with us that we have it pretty iron tight. Well, you know what? We're going to fight them.
All right. Well, when is this going to court? Do you know?
You know what? The legal team is in motion right now, so I cannot give you a specific answer on that.
Have papers been filed in the court?
I do not believe papers have been filed at this point, but I would assume they're going to do so within 24 hours.
Has Promo West been served with any sort of legal documents?
Repeat that, I'm sorry?
Has Promo West been served with any sort of legal documents?
Our attorneys are being in contact with them now.
All right. So if people have already purchased tickets, what action should they take? Should they take any action?
I honestly don't think they should take any action at this point, but I am unsure. We are fighting for our right to play the LC Pavilion this Friday. That's the best I can tell them right now.
Now,
I don't have a crystal ball to see which way this is going to go, but we firmly believe we have a legal right to that show, and Samsung can promise $1 million to whomever they want. That is our show, that is our venue, and we're not going to be moved out without our say-so.
Do you have an answer? Do you find it curious that as of this morning, too, and I'll check again, but I was still able to purchase, and we do, in fact, have videotape of some staffers here at Plestra purchasing tickets after the other show, this free show with the All-American Rejects, was scheduled. Do you find that curious that they're still selling tickets to your show, even though they're trying to move it or make it free?
Brian, all I can tell you is this. Our attorneys find it very curious that they have two shows advertised for the same venue at the same time and are continuing to sell tickets for one while the other is some sort of, I don't know how the hell they're distributing tickets for the other thing. You've summed it all up yourself. If anybody can look at me, look at that situation and tell me that it's right, they're blind or they have no grasp of reality.
Well, how are you feeling personally? I know you're generally a tightly wound person anyway. How have you kept yourself in some sort of check, or have you, in fact, started throwing things around, gotten angry? I mean, what was your visceral reaction to all this?
Brian, the dead Schembechlers have spent their entire lives fighting against the odds, fighting against forces that were far greater than them. This is just a part of our eternal struggle, and yet this is probably the most heinous example of an attack against us that I have ever seen in our history. All I can say is this sort of thing is part and parcel with the dead Schembechlers, but again, we have never, ever had to put up with any kind of bullshit like this before.